So apparently like 20 images of UFOs got leaked on Reddit. They're allegedly from a government program that's studying them. Now look at this one picture of this UFO. This one freaks me out. I don't even think we have that technology or it exists. These images look like they were captured on military equipment or some type of Navy jet. Now there are some parts that have been blacked out on the bottom and sides, and I think that's like the navigation stuff from these military aircraft. Now why would you black that out if these are fake? They've clearly been studying and researching them for decades. We even had that UAP disclosure hearing in Congress where they said that Navy pilots were encountering these on a daily basis off the coast of California and Florida. Could these be aliens, or could they be interdimensional beings? Have they always been here? All this stuff is so freaky and a little suspicious if you ask me. I feel like there's a lot of momentum right now, and they might be preparing us for something in the next coming years.
Video might be clear evidence of the Men in Black. As early as 1947, the elusive Men in Black, a secretive group of individuals allegedly working for the government, have been reported by people all over the world. They're known to only show up when UFOs and other strange occurrences get out of hand to prevent mass hysteria. In 2008, in a Niagara Falls hotel, a security camera captured this. At first glance, this video might not prove much other than two abnormally large men wearing all black and walking with a purpose. But what makes this story stand out are the witnesses who saw these men in person. They described them as having identical faces, extremely pale skin, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and abnormally large eyes. A woman who spoke with the men claimed that she felt that the men knew what she was thinking. Sound familiar?
For those of you that don't know, there is a spacecraft that has melted out of the ice in Greenland. The spacecraft that is anchored in the center of Greenland created the last ice age 50,000 years ago. It's a weather machine. It's 55 miles wide, 300 miles long, and 2 miles high. The people that lived in it were called the Mois. And these were the people that lived in the spacecraft that was uncovered that's melting out of the ice in Greenland. The spacecraft is still active after 50,000 years. It has a 200-mile dampening field where no electrons
Eso. O sea, miren. Miren eso. Miren. No, amigo, eso. Nada, amigo. Nada, what the fuck. Que bajen si existen, forro. No. ¿Qué ruta es esta, papá?
Mira acá arriba.
Mira acá arriba. Mira, esa como que está flotando.
Sí, pero para mí son luces de abajo que iluminan.
No, pero amigo, sale, mira, pero mira cómo se ve, mira. ¡No! ¡No! ¡Mira! ¡Perro, no! Gato, esos dos, mira ese. Son, parecen un plato, parecen un plato. Amigo, what the fuck. ¡A toparme, gato! ¡No! Apagate, auto, la concha de tu hermana. Amigo, me está volando la cabeza. No, la concha de la lores. Son las dos encima.
¿No será la balón?
No, amiga.
They also found a live alien. That live alien was named Eva. He died in 1952. But during that time period that he was with us, he told us a plethora of information about what they have learned about the universe and what their technology is.
If they release this, they could find themselves in jail without any amnesty. In the interest of national security and the future of the human race, crash retrieval programs were real and that back engineering programs were successful.
A document showed that Hillary Clinton took exceptional interest in the search for the tomb of Gilgamesh. There is an ongoing conspiracy theory that the real motivation for the invasion of Iraq was to find the tomb of Gilgamesh. Why on earth would Hillary Clinton be interested in Gilgamesh?
Gilgamesh, he was a giant. He was half god, half man. He was on a quest for immortality. I think they really wanted to find his tomb to see if they can do a DNA test.
One of the things that they might have recovered in Iraq was a Stargate.
Saddam was learning how to activate these things. He was getting ready to expose this to the world. His new museum that he had just built with all the information that can prove that there was an ancient advanced civilization and an ancient airport with beings flying and landing here in Iraq. And they were going to expose all of this.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
You kind of see something when the brightness is up. Literally just... they're in a circle. They're in a formation. And they're coming back to one. They came back to one.
What the hell is that?
Hey, at least we can show your dad now.
Right? Searchlights. Nope. No way.
I'm showing him.
It's tearing apart.
Folks, take a look at what news outlets are calling a meteor exploding over Ohio. It allegedly happened near a nuclear power plant, so a lot of people thought that is what exploded. Now, of course, people are skeptic. They think that it could have been, well, something else. But reports, again, are saying it was a meteor that exploded. A lot of people are saying that the smoke trail left behind, being in a spiral, says otherwise. I don't know about you guys. It looks kind of crazy. Sounded really loud. When it exploded, it shook the windows of the houses all around it. So it was intense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though. Could it have been something different? Curious to see what you guys have to say.
What in the?
Yo, look at that! It's tearing apart. Whoa, windows just shook!
What's even more unsettling, this isn't the first case of meteors we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Apparently, there's reports of them being over Texas and Maryland. Here's some video of the ones over Maryland. Check it out.
All in like a single file line.
And now the last two are over Texas. One looks like whatever they're saying it is, a meteor. And then the other one, it's changing direction. I think it's a plane. You can almost hear it with flares on its wings. Take a look.
Yo, what the fuck is this?
An American Airlines pilot just reported a mysterious flying disc while landing in Philadelphia. Listen to
Sort
this.
of like flying disc that just went over us at about 1,300 feet.
Is it a flying disc?
Yeah, I'm not really certain what it was.
Right, I'm not seeing any targets on the scope, but I'll let everyone inbound know, thanks.
Tower American 3013, ILS 27 right.
American 3013, Philly Tower, wind 320 at 9er, right 27 right. Clear to land, use cause previous route, reported a flying disc at 1,300 feet. They said it flew over.
Okay, clear to land and we'll be watching American 3013.
American 1837, high speed, kilo spot 6, contact ramp. Do you have any more specifics about that disc just for some reports?
I really don't. It was black and that's it, unfortunately.
Do you think it could have been a drone?
It didn't look like it.
Was it like frisbee sized or?
Potentially, yeah, frisbee, disc golf, maybe a balloon. I don't know. It definitely wasn't a balloon that had air in it.
Roger.
Oh my god, there's 3. There's 3 of them. 4, look. Oh yeah.
It's weird. That is like a UFO.
What?
That is like a UFO. What the heck is it? What the?
What the? Where is it coming from?
Where did it go?
Les grosses un peu peur.
Ça va pas super vite. Hein.
Jag skickar den här videon till dig sen så... Det sjuka är att det inte är någon som liksom bara, vad fan är det där för någonting liksom?
Panat nagram, widać ich. No UFO, kurwa. Co? No to nagranie widać wszystko.
Ale ja.
There have been coordinated online attacks against myself, Tony Borland, David Grush, Lou Elizondo, Jeff Mixatelli. I think Alex escaped, but you know, the point is it's systematic and it's ongoing to this day. We have identified the main players and found that they are active duty service members or reserve service members with active clearances doing this on their work time from work computers.
That's right.
And that this network of shit talkers is directly traced back to legacy program security, and that legacy program security is actively running disinformation operations and psychological operations against UAP whistleblowers, their friends, and their family. Worse than that, they are taking human intelligence methods and applying them to us in order to disrupt our lives and basically to drive us to either commit suicide or become so ostracized from our friends and family that we are no longer a threat. Specifically, they are sending Office of Special Investigations agents to people's families to break apart their families, to break apart marriages, to this day, to pull children away from their parents. And these are not the parents, these are not parents who are whistleblowers. They are people who have helped us.
We have in Lockheed right now, there are craft that can go to Mars in a few hours. Right now in Lockheed.
So how do you know what they have at JPL? How do you know they have...
Not JPL, Lockheed.
Lockheed. How do you know that Lockheed has this technology that we can get to Mars in a couple hours?
Lockheed has, I think, some assets in Nevada, but they have a lot of corporate facilities in California, in the state of California. And supposedly there is this shack on the side of a highway in California that looks like some nondescript warehouse, small warehouse. And you go into this warehouse, and the whole floor of the warehouse is an elevator. And it drops Lord knows how many hundreds of feet, and you're inside of a basically a facility carved out of rock, deep underground.
Yeah.
And what this guy said is that they are not only reverse engineering craft from retrieved debris in this facility, but they're actually training pilots to fly them. And he told me that the main problem that they have in that training program is that the pilots experience extreme disorientation because of the warping of space-time by these craft. In other words, they discovered early on, and this is, I think, one of the main reasons, and we can get into this in much more depth if you want. This is one of the main reasons this technology is being hidden, because they discovered very early on that these are not simply devices with propulsion systems capable of navigating space very quickly. Like they can take you from New York to Australia and, you know, right? They're flying time machines. They warp time as they traverse space.
Right.
And our pilots don't know how to handle that. They have a very hard time. They get disoriented, temporally disoriented. They get like, their sense of the passage of time gets really messed with. So anyway, he told me he went down into this facility and that they're reverse engineering stuff and that they're trying to train pilots in how to fly these reverse engineered zero-point energy craft. But okay, what's the really important thing about that is that on a theoretical level, about how UFOs are actually time machines. And if you really stop and think through that carefully, you realize why, under the current socio-political conditions, this technology can't be released. With the kind of society we have, domestically, globally, with the state that humanity is in at the present time, the release of that kind of technology into the public sphere would be utterly catastrophic, right? I mean, you can't give Tom, Dick, and Harry a time machine to put in their garage. You see, that's the thing. It's not like these are Jetsons cars that just, fly you across country really fast. They allow you to traverse different epochs in human history. And I think one of the reasons that our history is so messed up, when you look at these really regressive, tyrannical religious belief systems and the kinds of political structures that formed around them and that were fortified by them, I think a lot of what's going on there is that our timeline has been manipulated. It's been manipulated at all junctures, from the present far into the future.
Just the lying that goes on within these departments, NASA saying, well, we don't have anything. We haven't studied this or whatever. And I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it. And so, and they have stuff that's classified that they can't share with the public. And so, yeah, I think it's a big cover up. I think there's too many directions that it's going. I spoke to the president about it the other morning, a little bit about it, about, just being forthcoming and bringing the stuff out. And the problem is that you've got this arrogance within government. These people are so above the law on everything that they think that we're not fit to handle it. Our colleague from down in Florida, Moskowitz, he asked the question, he said, I don't think the government has the right to tell me what I cannot be afraid of. And so, yeah, but I'm very much afraid of these.
How did President Trump react to your urging?
I don't think he, I don't want to say he didn't grasp the humongousness of it or whatever you want to call it, but I think he was on a lot of other things at that time, Matt. I think we've got to get him close and we got to have a 5-minute conversation with him and just have the questions that he needs to ask. Because when I was in a meeting this year and I was told that the president was on a need-to-know basis on some of this information, I thought, man, y'all don't know Donald Trump like I know him, and a few of us know him, because that's not going to sit well with him. Yeah. When I told him that, he goes, what does that mean? And I said, well, just that they're just completely arrogant and that they don't think you should have that information. So I would hope that would light that fire under him. But I know there's a lot of things going on in the Middle East and other places that he's trying to tackle right.
nagram, widać ich. No UFO, kurwa. Co? Na to nagraniu widać wszystko.
Ale ja.
But someone asked, is it true that the men in black showed up?
I was wondering if somebody would ever ask that question. There was a group of 4 guys that came in. Black hats, black sunglasses, black suits. Asking, and this is what scared the crap out of everybody, because they were asking who had all seen the video. But nobody would say nothing. Because, like I said, if we talked about it, we'd lose our jobs. So nobody would talk to anybody. And the guy that I worked with, he was like, hey, let's go back here in the maintenance room. He said, because he said, I don't trust these guys. They look weird. They look off. They just had like a vibe about them. And it's like, and what I felt when they came up, because they got something to drink, and I was like, yeah, when they were asking like, who had all seen the video? What did it look like? And nobody would say anything. And they stayed around for about, I want to say about 30 minutes or so, acting like they were looking around or acting like they were playing the machines. But what they were doing was trying to get information. Now that's why we thought they were weird, because they didn't look like they had the black glasses on, so you couldn't see their eyes. But their hats came down. They had like the little, I don't know what they're called, not fedoras, but they had the little hats. You couldn't see their ears. And you couldn't see their hair. Now, they showed up more than once. And sometimes it would be 2 guys, sometimes it'd be 3 guys, sometimes there'd be 4, and sometimes there would even be 1. But you could always tell because they never took their glasses off. And in a casino, yes, there is flashing lights and stuff, but in the evening time when the lights are dimmed, you still can't see with that dark glasses on.
That's creepy.
And
That's so creepy.
And they had gloves on. They never took their gloves off.
Everybody's asking why a silver alert on Mr. McCausland. With New Mexico state statute, a silver alert does not require a formal diagnosis of any mental deterioration. The reason being also is because Mr. McCausland is over 50 years of age. He did state that he was experiencing a mental fog, and because of this information that we received, we decided to do a silver alert. Mr. McCausland, it was confirmed, was looking in to some of his mental fog, but out of respect for the family, I will not go into any further detail.
The mental fog is pretty much what it is. That was his statement about what he was experiencing. That was cited as reasons for stepping down from some different groups that he was working with. I'll clarify it with this. There's no indication, and we are not putting forward, that Mr. McCausland was disoriented, confused. Arguably, he would still be the most intelligent person in the room that any of us would be in. Highly intelligent, highly capable, but that information was given to us early on, and out of an abundance of caution, we escalated to a silver alert to try to garner as much public attention as possible to try to help locate him as soon as possible.
How recent was the mental fog statement? Was it immediately preceding, or is it months ago?
It's been within the prior few months.
Iran's new supreme leader last night put out an official statement, a written statement, saying that the United States has 1 month to get out of the Middle East, to leave all the bases, or they will totally block the Strait of Hormuz. That's what the media is reporting on. But in the middle of the statement, he says they will also deploy their nuclear assets, implying they have nuclear weapons. They've also had their military leaders come out and say that they can test a bomb within 1 week. I've been telling you for 15 years they have the fissile material to make bombs. The information I have is they've already got them constructed. Now, people didn't want to believe that because they didn't want to go to war with Iran. They go, well, that means Netanyahu's telling the truth. Well, Netanyahu's been saying for 20-something years they can get a bomb in, a month or a week. The point is that my military sources over 15 years ago told me this. I checked with other sources. They said, yes, indeed, they had picked up the intel on the ground and with satellites that they had fissile material refined up to the level they needed, and that the Iranians could easily construct a bomb once they had that. So Iran claimed that religiously it was a fatwa by the last Ayatollah to never build a bomb. Well, the new one just said, we will deploy our nuclear assets. It's not even veiled. Now, I don't know if they've got the bombs constructed, but even the Pentagon believes they could do it in a week. They have the material, and we know they have the material. So this is a massive escalation. Trump was warned by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs that this would not be a 4-day war like some were telling the head of CENTCOM, and here we are. Now, I did a report yesterday, and I pointed out that the Iranians have become belligerent and emboldened. That doesn't mean they're, quote, winning. It means they don't care, and they're going to go down with the ship. And now we've got the codes that came in that they have ordered their sleeper cells to take action. That can be real. It can be a false flag, a fake message. I don't know, because they really do have sleeper cells, but also the deep state can stage attacks to legitimize expanding the war. Trump's got ground troops ready to go in. Since last Saturday, 7 days into this, we're not 12 days in, he's been trying to get an off-ramp. The Iranians said, we're not surrendering. And now they've said, basically, you have to surrender, you have to leave, or we'll block the Strait of Hormuz. That's economic terrorism, and we'll deploy our nuclear assets. So that's the reality. That's what's going on.
Tel Aviv, the second biggest city in Israel, has been hammered, and there has been widespread infrastructure destruction, and there's been loss of life of some kind. They might have to resort to a nuclear strike on Iran. It is possible that Israel will feel it has no choice, which would be a tragedy for the people of Iran, most of whom have nothing to do with any of this, who would get vaporized. It would be a tragedy for the region, which would be poisoned by radioactive fallout, and it would be a tragedy for the world because the last taboo would be shattered. You could literally castrate yourself and call yourself a woman. You get applauded. There are very few taboos left. Using nuclear weapons is the last remaining big taboo. And once that is gone, we know from the elimination of other taboos that things change really fast. Oh, it already happened. I think I'll try it. It seems unlikely that the United States will be able to guarantee the safety of Israel. We can't guarantee it now, despite real effort to. And you could very easily see, either quickly or over time, a series of nuclear exchanges that kill most people.
Breaking news, a TikTok creator known as Citra is nearing completion of a 10-foot-tall electronic killing machine build that has drawn widespread attention and concern online. Several months ago, Citra began posting videos documenting a project he has been working on in his garage. If you're unfamiliar with him, his content quickly stands out. The machine he's building looks like something straight out of a science fiction film. This guy is literally building real nightmare fuel in his own garage. He's constructing a robot that's waterproof, fireproof, bulletproof, and resistant to almost anything. This thing would be an Avengers-level threat, but at the time, nobody really took him seriously. He was making some progress back then, but he just posted an update video, and this is what the 10-foot-tall animatronic looks like now. It's almost finished. He's made huge progress over the past few months. I remember when he was just working on the arms and legs. Now both arms and legs are done. The full body is built, and even the head is attached to this 10-foot-tall animatronic. People are starting to get scared. People are getting nervous because it looks like he's close to finishing it. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the entire world, of course. But I'm really curious what you think about all of this.
近日，一场跨域协同作战演练在某战术训练基地悄然展开。与以往不同，此次亮相演兵场的是一支由国产宇树系列智能作战单元与机械狼仿生突击平台混编而成的人机协同战术小队。
physical evidence now exists which proves that there is life elsewhere, and at least one form of that life has been here. As of 1989, that evidence was in the custody of the United States government. Between December of 1988 and April of 1989, I worked as a senior staff physicist in what has to be the most secret project in history. My job in this program was to be part of a back engineering team. This particular disc appeared to be in excellent condition, and because of its sleek appearance, I nicknamed it the Sport Model. The goal in this program was to see if the technology of the disc could be duplicated with Earth materials. To start up the reactor, of course, we need some element 115. In fact, you need 223 grams, machined into a wedge like this. The program out at S4 consisted of 3 projects: Project Galileo, Project Sidekick, and Project Looking Glass.
The file on top was Project Galileo, and as it turned out, that's the project that I was part of. And that clearly referred to reverse engineering a recovered alien spacecraft.
Just cannot be a secret from anyone, not just the American people, but the rest of the world.
All this stuff is something that happened to him. It's not who he is.
They're doing everything they can to keep this information secret.
That's empirical evidence. I saw a craft to do that, thanks to him.
Now this story spills, and the world changed.
Hey y'all, you're welcome to McDonald's at 12 a.m. at night. Look what we got us right here. We got some of that alien action everybody's been talking about on the news. Look at that right there. I was about to give me a McRib too. Wait, you think they want a McRib? Hey, y'all want a McRib? Y'all want a McRib?